everybody, welcome back to the Tradesman channel. Tonight we have been working on our countertop, getting it lined up. We worked on the mortising press tonight, get a different wooden plate on there, so maybe it'll run a little more square on me. But kind of on a serious note tonight here, you know, I've been, gosh, listen to that wind. Been feeling a lot of creative burnout here lately. I don't know if it comes across in the videos quite so much, but it is definitely there up here to where you start to think, hey, this isn't, what we're doing isn't good enough. It's not hitting enough. You're not putting out up to the expectations that you have for yourself. And I'm starting to think that, you know, I know a lot of small creators. There's quite a few like myself I talk to on a regular basis, and I think a lot of them feel the same way. And the reason I bring it up isn't that, not to sit here and whine and piss and moan about how hard it is to be a YouTuber, because I go to my regular job every day, 8 hours a day, sometimes 12 hours. You know, we'll come home and I'll take care of my farm, which I don't put a lot of that out there, but we'll be putting more. And then I come up to the shop and I know what projects I have to get done and want to get done, but I'm finding myself more and more standing next to that bench looking around. What do I do tonight? How do I get started? How am I going to present this? How am I going to put this out there in such a way where somebody can watch some guy cutting a board with a circular saw, something they've probably seen 1,000 times? How can I make it so it's interesting to watch? How can I make it so people want to stay and want to come back? And I think a lot of us who do this on a regular basis, I think we feel that quite a bit. I think a lot of people are like me who do this on a regular basis, to where you get up in the morning, you're thinking about YouTube, you're thinking about, okay, what are my view counts today? People commenting, am I getting subscribers? Are things growing? Are things going in a positive direction? And every time you start to plateau, which happens to everybody quite often, you start feeling, oh, I'm not doing this good enough. I'm not putting this idea out there well enough. I'm not making it interesting enough. I'm not doing the best that I can do to make this better. So what we've been doing here, you know, we've changed the format of the videos a little bit. I don't talk quite so much. I mean, it's been a long time since I've sat here and talked to you guys like this, because people aren't interested in that most of the time. They don't want to sit there and tune in to somebody droning on and on about their problems. They want to see the project. They want to see what you're into. They want to see what you're building. And, you know, that's not a bad thing. You know, I study my analytics a lot. I study my audience retention a lot. I look at where people are dropping out, where they're coming in, what point in the video they might be turning back and rewinding to see what we were doing, because I could see all of that in those analytics. And that's so important, and it helps a creator make better videos for their audience and for people who may be brand new to it. So you spend a lot of time doing that. You get up in the morning, you're thinking about your channel, you're thinking about ways to improve. You go to work all day where you should be focusing on your job. You're thinking about, how can I make this better? How can I improve this? You go to bed at night and you're thinking, hey, how can I make this better? I'm very guilty of that. I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. But to be quite honest with you, it sounds like a pain in the ass, but I truly enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing this, that's for sure, because it's not like I'm breaking down the bank doors doing this channel, but it's enough to where it really keeps me engaged and keeps me going. But like I said, here lately, I've run into a big mental block, a big creative block of just presentation. So I found some bigger channels that I've been watching to help keep the ideas flowing. Peter McKinnon's probably one of my new favorite ones. He's a Canadian guy. He's been doing this about the same amount of time as I have. He's up to 3.5 million viewers, which is friggin' phenomenal. But his camera work and everything is just so damn professional, and he does it himself. It's just amazing to watch. If you guys haven't seen him, you may really like what you see. The cinematography is incredible. You know, there was a time doing this to where you could just go out with your cell phone, shoot videos, and it would be perfect. People would watch. But now people are expecting high production value, and for small guys like myself, that can be kind of stressful because you want to get to that level of production value, but you don't know how. So if you can find channels that actually will take the time to teach you how, I suggest you do so. And that gentleman is one who takes the time to teach you how to do that stuff. So we've been trying things like cloning myself in the video, which was so much fun to do. It allows me to let a little more of my smart-ass personality out there. You know, we've tried it in a couple of videos where I'm just sitting there heckling myself, and that was just, like I said, that was so much fun to do. But so trying things like that, but trying not to overplay them to where it just gets boring. And I know we're kind of droning on and on here, and I don't mean to be, but it's kind of the mood I'm in tonight. You know, it's kind of the mood I've been into the last few weeks, but it just hasn't quite crept into the videos. So I guess what I'm saying through all this is, if you're feeling burnout, your creative energy is not where it used to be, take a step back for a couple days. Kind of hit the pause button on the camera. Just go do something that's totally unrelated to YouTube, unrelated to your hobby, or not your hobbies, but just your everyday. Just take that day off, take that time, go play a game of catch with your kids, go do something. Get your mind off of it. You know, when you spend so much time obsessing over things like this, you're forgetting why you're doing it. You're getting into the game of making videos and content and pumping them out like a factory, and you're not realizing that your quality is suffering for it. And when your quality suffers, your audience suffers. They don't come back like they used to, and it's really hard to get people back if your quality starts dropping. So that's something, you know, I don't want to, it's something you really have to think about. And I spend a lot of time thinking about my channel. I spend a lot of time thinking about how to make it better. How can I do this better? How can I make it more enjoyable to watch? It's good to think about that stuff. If you're not thinking about that stuff, you're not going to grow. You're not going to expand. But just remember that it's a blessing to be able to sit in front of that camera and make a little money while you're putting your ideas out there or you're working on your hobbies. But try to remember that it takes time. It's a marathon. There's nothing quick about this. The few people who make it really fast got really lucky that they made it fast. A lot of us aren't like that. A lot of us, it takes a long time. It takes years. Some of these channels, it took them 10 years to get to where they're at. And you have to be prepared to make that commitment. But you also have to remember that you have other commitments in your personal life, like your children, your family, those other things that you have to do to make sure that the wheels keep moving. You have to make sure you take the time to make those memories with your children, because the childhood memories they have, they're only going to have them once. They're not going to be able to, we don't get any replays on our childhood. And I want my kids to be able to say that, yeah, we had fun with Dad, you know. And so just things like that. I know this is a little deep tonight for this channel. I mean, we're a kind of build whatever type of a channel. No main theme, just whatever projects we happen to be into. But I think a lot about this stuff. I spend a lot of time out here by myself, and I think of a lot of this stuff. I don't always know how to put it into words, what I want to say or how I want to put it out there, but you know, that's the thought process. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it was a little serious, a little rambly, a little bit boring, but that's where we're at. And I'm like sitting here falling asleep. It's getting late. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one.